human beings to have music in their lives. Would you agree or not?
Well, it seems to be ubiquitous, and there are some folks. There's a famous Steven Pinker made a comment that he thought that music was equivalent to porn and cheesecake. It's just some superfluous thing that we've it's a byproduct. I think he calls it a spandrel, something like that, of evolutionary process, but it's not primary, right? But Pinker says this, but I've recently, there's neuroscientist, psychiatrist guy, Ian McGilchrist, and he was saying in a lecture that he felt that actually music came before language. And so music is not secondary, it's primary. And he said, look at all the animals around us that sing. And primates sing. They have and he said that the basic elements of music are from which language sprung. So he would be turning Pinker upside down and saying language is much more primary, or music is much more primary than even language.
Right.
And I think that's sort of an interesting take. So when you
Look
for
at
one
evolution,
thing, maybe it's ubiquitous, maybe it's whatever. I wonder how, like for me, I need music. I guess from an Epicurean standpoint, it's not like water. If I never heard music again, I could survive. And if I suddenly lost my hearing, then, I would have. If I keep going to concerts, I might.
Yep.
So I don't know about. I will say though that it is necessary for the life that I am building to flourish in.
Okay.
And so when we talk about concepts like flourishment, like I'd mentioned earlier, like the first thing I did this morning, I had breakfast, and it's the house is relatively quiet. My son was up, but I was like, I gave him something to eat, and I went downstairs. I listened to music.
Okay.
I literally put an album on. I usually listen to something in its entirety. I don't listen to songs typically. I have some idea of what I'd like to listen to, or I walk in and I allow myself to be paralyzed by all the decisions I have in front of me because I have thousands and thousands of CDs. And I'm completely overwhelmed, like, oh my God, what do I do? But I do. So I think that...
now, and you do that too... the first thing, actually, you were saying. So what does that do for you? Because I think some of these articles are talking about the idea that this is maybe connected to our self-esteem, maybe it's connected to our mood. In listening to that, now, I know this is a little different for you because you're a scientist researcher of music. And I'm wondering a little bit. We'll talk about that. But in terms of your mood, or just the whatever you have on your mind, can you kind of let go of the anxiety? Can you kind of be in a better mood as a result of that, or does that not enter in for you?
Well, it's interesting because it didn't consciously enter in until maybe just a little while ago, maybe like within the last year. As my stresses have sort of increased because of things at the university and demands and things that have happened,
sure.
I'm aware, and also I think just as you get older, you carry stress differently. But the reason I bring this up, not to just show how weird I am, but I like the feeling and the pleasure of learning something new. Because remember that openness to experience thing we talked about?
Oh, yeah.
It is so primary for me that while I literally get pumped up learning about something new. So if I'm working out, whereas sometimes I would choose an album because I want to get some sort of experience. I want to feel and learn something. This became, like you said, something you play over and over again. It made me happy. But it never occurred to me that would be a use of music for mood enhancement. But that is, and one of the articles we read tried to take all the, they were hundreds of different categories of what musical utility, and they wanted to distill it into 5 categories. And one of those was mood enhancements. I think mood enhancement, entrainment, maybe it was 4 categories. Mood enhancement, entrainment. One of those might have, I know the 4th one was aesthetic experience. And I think background, distraction. I think it was